What's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fortis After Hours podcast. I'm your co-host, Nate, joined by my wife, Liz.
Hi.
And we have another awesome episode planned for you guys today. Hopefully you guys are joining us on YouTube where you can see all the action. If you're not, that's cool too. We appreciate your support and listening along through all these years. Did you guys know that we've been podcasting for 26 years? Almost 6 years.
We've been podcasting for 26 years.
No.
That's a lot of years.
I was doing a little math out loud.
That's a lot of years.
But yeah, we started the podcast in 2020, I think like in the fall.
It was during Hurricane Sally.
That's true. We recorded our very first episode during a hurricane. Pretty cool. And yeah, we've been podcasting ever since. Weekly-ish. But yeah, so thank you guys for sticking around and listening to us. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate your support over the years as we've continued to grow. A quick announcement. I didn't really think of a date.
What?
But we're going to take a little, I'm going to tell people what's up.
Oh.
We're going to take a little break. We're going to take a little summer break. We have a lot of stuff going on over the next few weeks. We are moving, still in our area, so not like anywhere crazy.
Moving locally.
But yeah, moving locally.
But we got to pack.
We got to pack. We got to do all of our regular stuff, run the gym, be powerlifting athletes, be good.
All the things.
Yeah, good partners to each other, good dog parents, all the things. So we are going to take a little summer break. So after this episode, we'll be back for sure August 1st. That probably just makes the most sense. Come back August 1st because it's a Saturday. So, yeah. August 1st-ish. Maybe a little bit after that. We'll see.
August 1st, if it's a Saturday, it wouldn't be, they wouldn't get to listen to it on August 1st.
That's true. So
I think Toby wants to join the podcast.
All right, perfect. So yeah, we're going to take a little summer break, a month-ish, just so that we can do those things and get everything situated in the new house. But we'll be back. So yeah, wanted to give you guys a little bit of a heads up because I feel like in the past when we've taken breaks, we'll kind of just be like, later. So anyways, this time a little bit more planned, not fully planned, which ironically is what we're going to be talking about today. How to start things and finish them. Big second portion of the sentence there.
A lot of people start a lot of things.
Yeah, that's something that we've seen. A lot of people start a lot of things. Not too many people finish these things or can finish these things. So we're going to kind of unpack that a little bit.
Now, I would say, whatever, you can keep unpacking it. Some people aren't going to finish something just because they realize it's not, made for them or aligned for them or whatever. Yeah. And that's different than just, not following through with it because it's, hard or inconvenient or is not.
Actually, I'll give you a great example of that from my personal life. So probably not too many people know, but I did start college. I took one semester of college. Yeah.
Sure.
I did one semester of college. I did really well. I got straight A's. I did very well. I did better in that semester of college than I did in high school. But during that time, I was kind of researching different jobs, different things, trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And I came across personal training and realized you didn't need a college degree. So I went the direction of not getting a college degree and trying to gain as much real world experience as I could, as early as I could. Would I consider that, like Liz was saying, not finishing? I mean, yeah, I guess I didn't finish it, but
technically you didn't finish it.
Yeah, technically I didn't finish it, but it was not because it was a chosen redirect, not a this is too hard, I'm giving up.
Yeah, there's, I feel like, a difference between redirecting something
100%.
Or changing your path or changing your goals or changing something like that can change. And then obviously what you're doing has to change.
Yeah. Versus
starting something, not finishing it, and being like, man, I really wish I could do this, or I wish I would have done that.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to be focusing on is how to start something that you want to do and how to get that thing done. To include maybe course correction, because to your point, my main goal was I needed a job, obviously, and that was the main goal that I was trying to achieve. I didn't really, not achieve that goal. I just achieved a different path, which I think is part of, ironically, it is part of finishing things because I think sometimes people set out on a goal and it's just very one track, this is what I'm doing, this is the plan, this is the only way to get there. And if you're like that or you think like that, your chance of success definitely is going to go down. because you're going to be closed-minded to other opportunities around.
Or your success might be there, but you might not be happy with your success because it might not be the way that you thought things were going to go.
True.
Because that would be more like me.
Yeah. So let's talk about it a little bit, like, because I think we're both very different in how we.
We're different?
Yeah. Hey, yo, some people don't think that we are, which is really funny. But yeah, so I think we're different in how we do this, but we are the same in that we both value like finishing what we started.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're a good team, because like, yeah, Liz definitely works like a different way than I do, and has developed a different way of starting and finishing things than I do. Probably a more detailed way, maybe more repeatable. But I also start and finish. Like if I want to actually get something done, I'll get it done. If I don't, or if I don't find it as important, then it's probably not getting done right now, or it will get done eventually. But like if I need something done, it will be done, which is much less detailed than Liz. So let's talk a little bit about how you like maybe first started doing that. Like, did you do that like always, like when you were a kid, when you were like growing up in school, or was that something you more developed as you were like getting older, like sort of like working as a teacher?
No, I'm pretty sure it's just always like whatever needs to be done, I just do it. Like,
Nice.
I don't know, it's not very deep for me. Like,
So how do you do it?
just do it. There's a plan, there's a schedule, there's a routine, like, I don't know. And then I guess if like something new needs to be added in, sometimes like that I guess would take a little bit of work. But then I just like make it into my schedule and then I just do it, which is not very helpful. I understand that. But if you're a very type A person and you are good with like routines and schedules and like following directions and doing things a very specific way, like me, then that actually does work. So like.
So my question would be for like you, or for like a type A person that's maybe listening to this, and like actually starting and finishing something is relatively easy, we'll call it, right? Or like simple, right?
Yeah.
So then my question would be, how do you stay focused and like not get overwhelmed and like not getting too many things on your plate? Because I feel like you do a good job at like, you're like, I can only do this thing, you know, like, so how do you manage that? Because I could see someone maybe like, oh, well, I'm a type A person, I could just do whatever. But like, there is a limit.
There's a limit, yeah. I mean, at that point, like, if you feel like you're reaching the limit or like are super overwhelmed or whatever, like, one, it would have to be priorities. Like, what's most important is like deciding the priorities of the things that you want to be doing.
Like prioritization.
Yeah, like currently I have been slacking on my walking of my daily steps, but I have like all these other things that need to happen first. So like I understand I'm not doing that, but all these other things right now are priority. So then that gets like shifted down. But it's not that like I can't walk or like it's just
or
the
you don't
other
want
things.
to, per
Yeah,
se.
it's the other things are just more important. So some things have to take a priority over other things. So prioritizing is definitely going to be one of the things. And then two would be trying, like especially if it's like a new thing you're trying to start, remembering why you're trying to start it, like why are you doing it? Because if you're just like, I don't know, like, oh yeah, I just want to start X, Y, or Z, but you don't really like why you're doing that. Like there's not really a reason. Your chances of like actually continuing through with that are going to be very slim. Like I still remember the beginning of the year, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to wake up and get out of bed, which I understand sounds very ironic. I was like, yeah, I'm going to start just, waking up and just getting up out of bed because I don't do that. And I didn't really have a reason for why. I was just like, yeah, that sounds like a good thing to do. And then I did it for, I don't know, a couple weeks maybe a month. And I was like, why am I doing this? This is stupid because I didn't have a reason for it. So then I just stopped doing it. But like, I don't care that I stopped doing it because like, why did I even want to do it to begin with? I still don't really know. So anyways, you kind of need a why, I guess, if you're going to do something and like actually stick with it, which is, I mean, pretty much everyone kind of needs that.
No, I was just going to say that. I think that is like anyone, whether you're like a type A person
yes.
or you have more of like a mindset like mine, which I'll explain here shortly.
Yes.
I think having a good solid why is important. And I think that takes a little bit of time. Sometimes people, they just want to like get going, or they see a goal that they want to achieve and they're like, all right, I just want to get started. And that's cool. I appreciate the eagerness. I like that.
And you can. But
and
then
yeah, sometimes the best thing is just to start.
Yeah.
But you need to be thinking of like, okay, like why am I doing this? Because that's important for when it gets a little bit hard or tricky or challenging, because that will happen.
Or when life gets busy and you have to be like, or when you're tired and I'm like, man, I don't want to get out of bed in the morning. Why did I need to just get up? Oh, I don't. Like, I don't know. And then I would say the other thing that probably helps, like when things are kind of overwhelming and there's just a lot going on, would be like understanding that, which this was honestly probably the hardest thing for me, is understanding that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. Like if like I really want to walk for a mile every day, but I can't do that every day because either I'm just busy with whatever X, Y, and Z other things that I have going on currently, but understanding that even if I can walk once a week or twice a week is better than
0 times.
0 times a week. So kind of like understanding that like, well, ideally the things, you could be doing them every day or devoting like a bunch of time to them. You might have to shift like the frequency of them, just depending, and like also like through different phases of life, and then being okay with that. Because I think that's the hardest part, is like a lot of people will kind of like stress about it, like, oh my gosh, I'm not walking, like I'm not getting my steps in for like these few weeks, like I'm only able to get my steps in like a couple times a week, like if you have a step goal, whatever. I'm just using that because I'm looking at a treadmill, and I do know that's something I have not been doing lately. But just kind of understanding that, and then rationalizing the fact in your brain, I guess, that it's okay to only be doing it like a couple of times a week versus forcing yourself and then stressing over like, oh my gosh, I just don't have time for this, or like making yourself do it when really other things need to be happening instead. So just like being okay with it not being every day, and knowing that that could just be temporary. Because basically, like as soon as we move and get things situated, like I should have more time again in my life to start like doing the things that are maybe getting put on the back burner.
And using that as an example, like with us moving, I mean, that has to take priority. Like we have to make sure we're moved, we're set up, we're ready to go, so that we can continue to be excellent and like provide the best service, like with our coaching, with our gym, things like this. Which is why like we gotta like reprioritize, rearrange certain things to make sure that we have the time and energy to still do those things.
Yes, because I'm not like trying to like sacrifice like other people's experience for me to go walk on a treadmill. Like that's silly. Now like obviously if it's like your whole mental health and like your world is going to collapse if you're not doing something, then yes, please do that. Like I understand there are certain things that like you need to do as a person, so obviously do those things. But like sometimes, like for us, like right now, coaching, making sure programming is done, making sure like responding to people, all of that stuff, running the gym, all of that is getting done, and moving is prioritized over walking on the treadmill.
So I think that's interesting. Thought process, because like that is not how my brain works. But I know that there are many people that do think like Liz. So I felt like it would be good for us both to share kind of our perspective. So my perspective is a little different, but it does end up with the same result, and that is finishing things. So like I said, like there are certain things that I start that I like purposely don't finish, I guess, and I'm not counting that. Like I would say I definitely start probably more things than Liz, but I also have zero problem just like I'm like, oh, nope, wrong way. And then I just stop and then I move on. So it's not necessarily, like Liz was saying, like if I start something and don't finish it, it's generally like a redirect to like something else that I ended up figuring out, you know what I mean, while I was doing that. But I'm definitely not afraid to start things or just try new things. And I'm not afraid of failing. Like I have zero, I don't care at all. If it fails, it fails, and I just move on to the next thing. But something, when I was a kid and when I was younger, it was really actually tricky for me to start and finish things. I would start a bunch of things and finish nothing. I would try to be good at soccer, and I was like, okay. I'd try to be really good at video games. I was okay. I'd try to be really good at school. I was okay. And I think that was because when I was younger, I just didn't understand. I could not comprehend like taking a big goal and then making it into smaller goals and then just doing the steps to get to the big goal over and over and over until you achieve it. And that just like completely just missed me until I got a little bit older, and then I did that. And a lot of it I learned from the gym. You know, I went to the gym, and I don't know the exact numbers, but I, you know, started and could only lift whatever 20 pounds, and then I'm like, man, like these guys are lifting 100 pounds. Like how am I doing this? So
life lessons from the gym.
Yeah, seriously. Because then so I go back. I'm like, all right, well I can't lift 20 pounds, and basically, so I'd try to lift like 30 pounds, we'll say, right? And I couldn't even lift that. So I'm like, well, shit. Like, okay, well, I guess I'll just go like 25 pounds. And I would just do the 25 pounds until that felt like, you know, pretty easy. And then I would go to the 30 pounds. And I would just do that over and over and over until like I finally, all of a sudden, I'm at 50 pounds. And I was like, well, wait, I just started like, you know, 2 months ago and I was at 20 pounds. Now I'm at 50 pounds. How did I get there? And it like clicked in my brain, like from the gym, it really like clicked in my brain. I'm like, I've literally just been doing, you know, like the same step basically every day or whatever, or every other day, whatever. And, you know, and then I achieved my goal. And it like, to me, it like hit me like this, like, oh, I just did it out of nowhere. I'm like, and because.
Nowhere.
Yeah, like
not
when
all
you have.
the directions you've been following for the last month.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, in my brain, I'm just like, oh yeah, just hit it out of nowhere. And that was really how I started learning to like start something and then finish it. All you really needed to do was break it down into small enough tasks that you could do on a daily basis or, you know, weekly basis, whatever, fill in the timeline. That you could repeat over and over and over, and then eventually you would just appear at your destination.
It's magic.
And yeah, so then I started doing that in like real life. Like I was like, okay, well, you know, at my job I want to make, you know, X amount of dollars, or I want to, you know, reach this many people and train this many people. Well, like I can't just start with like 100. I got to start with 1. And then like I do a really good job with that, and then maybe they tell 1 friend, and then that friend tells 5 friends, and you know, like stuff like this. And yeah, I learned it in kind of an unconventional way, and especially for my like brain type, my ADHD brain is not built, I would say, to naturally start and finish something. However, I think the gym really just single-handedly taught me like that methodology, because like before that, I didn't really have like people would be like, yeah, just finish it or just focus. I'm like, what? I'm like,
I don't
no.
know. What
like,
is that word?
And I think the problem was until like I really started working out.
I mean, to be fair, you still struggle with that sometimes.
Yeah, 100%.
But no, that's just my point though. Like that's still something, like it's not like you learned this at the gym and now
No,
all of a sudden
no.
you're just like, oh yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah,
I can focus on everything and get it all
like
done.
like I said, I definitely, of the two of us, I definitely start more stuff and do not finish it. Like I still don't finish
Or
it.
you like bounce from project to
Yeah.
project, which drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it hurts my brain so much.
Had a lot of
There's
stuff
like
going on.
5 or 6 different things happening all at once in his brain and or on the computer
Yeah,
and or at
like
the
right
gym,
now.
and my brain does not work
But
like
I've been
that.
getting stuff done.
You do. I just like to finish one thing and then move on to the next
So,
thing.
well, okay, but that's what I'm getting to. Okay, so, see, she's distracting me. All right, so.
I'm just talking.
So, yeah, so as far as like how I figured that out, like because I was like, okay, like I figured out that I was taking too big of bites, basically, right? Like there's that old saying where it's like, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. I don't think we're eating elephants in 2026 anymore, hopefully
Please
not.
don't.
But, you know, how do you eat a giant burger, giant steak, whatever, 1 bite at a time? Okay, and this is like the concept that finally clicked in my brain, because what I was doing was I was taking too big of bites, so to speak. They were like unachievable. So I'd be like, and you're like so close to doing the right amount of thing, but you're doing too much. And then I finally just like I said, like using the gym example, I broke it way down to like, I'm like, okay, well, I want to get to 100. I'm at 20. So like, if you're trying to do something, you'd be like, well, let me try 40 or 30, you know? But it's like, no, like, let's just start with 25 and then go from there. And that's what I did, like in other aspects of my life. I would think like, okay, this is my goal. Then I would think like what my brain naturally went to as like you should be able to do this, whatever. Then I would cut that in half, and then that's what I would shoot for. And then the way my brain works, and probably a lot of other ADHD brains out there, is like I like rewards. So like I would do the small thing that's like, that's too easy. I'm like, okay, well I did it. And then like I'm like, yes. And then I would do it again, and then I was like, yes. So like I just kept like feeding myself wins basically over and over and over. And then as long as they're in the direction of where I wanted to go, then it's productive. So now instead of like basically failing, like, and you just get that, you're like, oh, you know, like man, like I tried this, failed, I would just get this like constant, I'm like, yep, I did it. And it would be like these like super small, even now, like I'll do these like very like seemingly small tasks. And even sometimes I do get ahead of myself. Like listen, I'm definitely probably gonna have to struggle with finishing stuff forever. But, sometimes you gotta break it down into much like smaller tasks than even I would like at this stage. And it works.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't even think that's necessarily just like for you. Like I think I also do this. It's just like, I don't really have to think about it, I guess. Like, it just kind of naturally happens. I didn't have to make a big, like, there's no, like, revelation of, oh, I need to do a little bit, and then I can do a little bit more, and then a little bit more. Like,
yeah, that's why I was sharing my thoughts.
I know, I'm just...
For those people that are not maybe just...
Yes. No, but I'm just saying...
just do it.
No, my point is, like... Even if you think more like me and where like you just do the things, you're not going from like 20 to 100 overnight.
Yeah.
There's still a process to get to where you want to be for whatever the goal is. Like even if it's not like reaching some number, like if it's just whatever, drinking more water. Like you're not gonna go from drinking like 1 cup of water to 1 gallon of water overnight. I mean, I guess technically you could,
but you
like,
set yourself up for failure.
You shouldn't do that. So like even with just something like that, like while there's not like a, it's not like, oh, well, I can't, like physically can't lift the 100 pounds. Like you physically could drink a gallon of water in one day. Like even if you were only drinking a cup. So like physically you could. I don't recommend it if you're not really doing that. But my point is like even like any little task like can be broken up like piece by piece to like build up to what it is. Even if in your brain you're just like, oh yeah, you just do it. Like you just drink the water, you just go on a walk, you just whatever. But breaking it up into smaller pieces, like, I don't know, like my brain just naturally knows to do that. But even if like you think like I do of like, you just get it done, you follow the rules. Well, sometimes that's the rules, is they have to be small, small pieces to build up to the big piece.
That's the thing, is that I feel like for either brain type, so to speak, and I'm sure maybe there's other people as well that are in between.
Yes.
But just using us as the examples, like you're doing the exact same thing. I just think sometimes if you have a brain like mine that is like very scattered and distracted, you might have to be a little bit more intentional, is basically what I think. And I think, like I said, I think like that might be like the difference, if you will, for someone like myself. And then someone like Liz might have to be okay with like, well, this is the directions and I'm supposed to be doing it this way, but like there's this other way that clearly is the way that we should be going. And then like, you gotta be okay with sometimes like, okay, well, let's just try this and see what happens. Because I feel like that might be the difference for you. Like, you know what I mean? Like for you, I mean, you don't need it. You're just like, I'm gonna do it. Like this is the direction. It says do it every day. I'm just gonna do it.
I'm also a very stubborn person.
Yeah, same.
So if there's something I like want to do, I'm going to do it until I do it, basically.
Yeah.
Like I still remember with like some of the PT things when Lauren was the PT here, like she would give me these exercises that were so hard and I would be so mad because they should not be hard. Like it was literally like these simple little movements that should not be hard and they were so hard.
Yeah.
So then I literally would do them every single day because I didn't like that they were hard until they were easy again.
Yeah.
But that's the rules. You do them and then they get better. So
yeah, and I think it really is just a little bit more simple. I'm not gonna say it's easy. It's not easy, but it's more simple than people think to start and finish things. But you gotta make an effort. And I think a lot of people, they're just like, well, I just want to be doing it. It's like, no. You're going to intentionally have to be like, okay, like, like we'll go with the step thing. I'm going to start doing 10K steps a day. You're not just going to do it. Like, you're not just going to like go to the gym, hit your normal workout. You're going to be tired.
And magically
and then
10K
just all
steps?
no, you're going to have to be like, okay, I'm going to walk on the treadmill when I get to the gym for 10 minutes. And then, you get there the first day, you do it. You get there the second day, someone's on the treadmill. The correct answer is not, oh, well, I did 10 minutes the first day. Like, oh, well, someone's on there. Like, couldn't do it. No. Like, the answer would be, okay, like, I'm going to do my workout, and then I'm just going to force myself to get on that treadmill before I walk out the door. And then you're going to have to do it. Because, like, that's the thing is that, when you're starting something, I know, like, there's a lot of science that says a few weeks, 2 weeks, whatever. I do agree. Like, the first, like, we'll call it month, for lack of a better term, you need to be locked in. I think it's technically
21 days.
Yeah, whatever.
21
science. Days, 1 month. I'm just going to say a month.
Yeah.
So, like, you need to be locked in. It's going to probably be hard. Like, most likely you're going to have to actually think about what you're doing. And then after a while, you will just be like doing what you're doing.
And I think part of it too with like when it is hard or when it is whatever, like part of that, like there's a whole, the whole big thing of like self-love is like self-care is bubble baths and chocolates and, sitting out on the beach or, doing things like that, which of course, all of those things are great.
Of course.
But also part of self-care is like following through and committing to things that you like set out to do. Like that is taking care of yourself because you say you're going to do something to help better yourself, to better your life, to reach your goals, to whatever. Doing those things is part of self-care and like taking care of yourself. And I feel like that just often gets overlooked and they're just like, we're just, I'm just walking. Like I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
But like one that's like taking care of yourself, like physically, but also like committing to doing something and following through with it, like self-care, self-discipline, like all of those things are very important and that's very overlooked right now.
I agree. And those things are going to literally build your like mental strength, like your mental health is going to improve, like proving to yourself, no one else. Like, that's another thing. A lot of people, they're always like, oh, like you're doing this for this or this or this. Like, no, like I would say,
just for me.
100% of what I do like is to help me grow as a human, help my business grow, help my relationship grow, my family, like that's it. Like it's for zero other people. Like I'm not like out here like, oh, like no. And like I think like that's the thing is like doing stuff like for yourself and self-love and like self-care, like it is like widely overlooked and people, I feel like they look for other things instead of just like, I mean, quite literally, like you said, showing up for yourself is the best part or the best way that you could love yourself. You know what I mean? Like telling yourself, hey, like I'm gonna drink a gallon of water, and then working towards that.
And
not
actually
like,
doing it.
Yeah, not just like, well, I drank one
I tried
cup,
for a day.
and then I tried for a week, and then I went out with my friends, and I just, it's whatever. Like, and your brain remembers that. Like that's the thing is like your brain remembers that stuff. Maybe somewhere in your subconscious, like you might not be aware of it, but like it remembers. Like and then on the contrast, if you can starting and finishing things, then you get to the point. Like I would say over the past, like, I don't know, close to 15 years of my life, now I have developed, 15 years of my life it has taken me, but now like I'm pretty confident I can do anything. Like I mean, I would have to learn like whatever it is. Like I'm not saying I like just right this second, but like if I was like, okay, I want to learn how to crochet and I decided that's what I'm going to do, like I'll learn it. You know what I mean? Like I could figure it out. And I think that is a lot to do with like the 15 years of like starting things that I want to do and then finishing them or getting to the stage that I want to get to, whatever. That doesn't just happen overnight. You know what I mean?
No, it doesn't.
Like you're not just gonna like wake up and confidence is built in action and it is built in like results and it is built in like days and weeks and years of actions that move you closer to your goal or help you achieve your goal. It is not just like randomly speaking. So like when I say that, like I truly believe like I can learn to do anything. I like literally think that. So I would say if you're listening to this, you're looking to start something new, whether it be, a helpful habit or maybe a new workout or whatever it is, break it down into a smaller goal and then probably break that goal in half and then start there. And then here's the thing, if that goal's too easy, you're like, hey, this is so easy. Great, like go up a little bit. You know what I mean? And then consistency over time, I've always said that from day one as a trainer, consistency is your best friend. That word is the most important word in the gym and fitness and honestly in life because anything really worth achieving is gonna take most likely years. And you will not be able to do that if you're not consistent. But a year's a long time. There's a lot of forgiveness in a year. You mess up a couple times, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
If you hold yourself to some crazy standard of like, you mess up in 3 days, well, it's gonna be less fun. So,
yeah, that is true.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed that episode. If you did, please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel and our podcast wherever you are listening. And we will see you guys in a month. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your summer break. And we'll be back with a awesome episode August 1st-ish.
Ish.
Bye.
Bye.